Well, I'm delighted to be joined now by Kilmacud's Lauren Magee ahead of the AIB All-Ireland Ladies Senior Club Final this Saturday, December 14th in Croke Park. And Lauren, an All-Ireland Club Senior Final. That's a pretty nice one to be looking forward to.
Yeah, you don't hear that often. Yeah, so it's a special one to look forward to, and it just doesn't feel real at the moment. So just kind of trying to enjoy the build up and the wave to it. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's absolutely massive for you as a player and for your club as well. What has the preparations been like over the last week or two?
Yeah, it's been great. Like as in there's just a good buzz around the club in general, like to be fair to the lads and different people around, like I've bunting up like flags and the schools and all involved, and it just means so much, I suppose, to everyone around the community. But yeah, training's been great. Everyone's in good spirits, and like it's just kind of just getting those extra bits done just in preparation now. So no, it's good.
You mentioned there that it almost doesn't feel real. Is this something that you as a person and I suppose as a team as well that you've been striving for over the last number of years?
Yeah, I suppose I don't think like it's one of those ones where it's they don't like I know like it's very hard to get to an All-Ireland final with inter-county, but I suppose when you think of club, it's even harder and it's even tougher because there's just so many different competitions that you have to come through to even get there. So yeah, it's one of those things that we always dreamed of, I suppose. Like when we were kids, we were looking up to like when my dad's team won in 2009, like we always were like that's so cool, but the fact that we're the first ladies team in Crokes to do it and to be in a final, obviously you want to go one step further, but to be there in the first place just means so much to us and as and again as the community, our families. So yeah, just yeah, it's definitely different. It's a different feeling building up than an intercounty like All Ireland, definitely.
And for your dad, I know he's a massive supporter of yours. Does he share some of the experience that he's had on the pitch with you?
Yeah, court like yeah, I suppose his more just take your hands off your hips. I'm like, well, you did that. So like, but yeah, no, I suppose actually we haven't really spoke about. I think he's more like he goes and he's on like he's one of those people who like if I need the advice or if I want to ask him questions, he's there. Um, but I feel like I think we're both very similar. I think like we both enjoy like the build up to these type of games, but like it's just kind of still going about everyday business, but trying to conserve energy. So trying to keep your mind off things while also trying to enjoy it. Because obviously, as you said, like they don't come around often, and to still to take that all in. But yeah, so it's really nice, and like the fact that he's been there, done that with my uncle, I think just adds that bit to it. So hopefully.
Yeah, it's so special. And like the thought of running out in Crow Park in your club colours, having all your club mates there supporting you, I'm sure that'll be absolutely massive and something you're really looking forward to.
Yeah, definitely. Like obviously I've played with a lot of the girls in Dublin colours in Croke Park and on many occasions, and but it's just yeah, it's just so different, like the fact that like there's just so many of us that have like played literally like I like if even if we're not the same age group, like you'd play up with them all the way up underage, minor, that type of stuff, and the fact that we're all going out and to actually put on purple and gold to represent everyone part of Crokes on the big stage in the country, like just yeah, I don't think as I said, like you dream of it, but I don't think you ever think it'd be something that would happen. So yeah, it just means so much.
Will there be girls playing in Crow Park for the first time?
Yeah, there's a good few. Yeah. So yeah, it's
Is
like it's
that something
not
you speak about?
yeah, like as in we like you get the option to go in and just visit Croke Park, I think any team, and like I just said to the girls, like we never did it with Dublin until last year, and it was one thing that I thought like really helped because there's so many new girls on the panel, so many younger girls who hadn't experienced that, and there's so much it's going to be nervous on the day and there's going to be so many butterflies and all that, all different emotions. But I think if you can just kind of go in and see what it's like a week before, like it does take that element and it takes that element of surprise if you've never seen the dressing rooms like that before. So I think that that's really a good thing to do. So hopefully that will be helpful. But like it is, it's gonna just it's going to be a whirlwind of emotions and excitement and everything, but it's just, yeah, just knowing that it is another game of football and that we just need to go out and perform and just do what we've been doing this year in particular, but building on the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely. And the club as a whole, what sort of role has it played for you, developing you as a player and as a person as well?
Oh, massively. Like I've been very lucky to have been involved with like so many good coaches and managers and then obviously been involved. Oh, is that gone? I'm still on.
No, I think you're still going, are you?
Something else just popped up. I was like, what's gone? But
No, you're
yeah,
grand.
sorry. Yeah, I suppose like there's cause it's like Crokes is very close and like I've been involved in very like close knit teams all over the years and just even the people that are involved that like are on the board or volunteering or like anything like that like it definitely has shaped me to be the person I am and to like I suppose like all our friendships that like I have as well again like it just makes you the person you are today so no yeah definitely we're definitely a close knit group and yeah I think like Crokes have always done a lot for me so I'm always gonna have that like there and oh like it's yeah just amazing I suppose.
And obviously you're well experienced within the club game, but also the county game as well at this stage. And obviously AFLW and making that transition from the AFL back into Gaelic football. What do you think you really learned or took from all of that, from that professional setup with AFLW?
Yeah, I suppose like I think like at the time like you'd do a gym session and you'd kind of train with Dublin so you'd like do one or two gym sessions on your own or like say with collectively and then on your own then like you just train whereas I find when I went over to AFL it was kind of like you do gym you do your pitch you go back into the gym and it was kind of that was a really big part of it and like I suppose a bit more recovery time and all that aspect. And I know like over here you don't have the time for the recovery really, but it's just kind of like I think bringing that back over like here to like to know like to make the time to do those things. And I suppose where ladies football's going now, you see like with Dublin the last few years with our S&C Sammy, like we I was like, oh, this is basically the setup that I've had in AFL because like we were doing gym, like you do your own prehab beforehand if you needed to, and then you'd go out and then you'd do a gym session after. So it was like although we're not professional or semi-professional, we that's the standard that counties and clubs are going to. So I suppose like the fact that I went like we still were at a high standard here, but the fact that like I went overseeing that and then came back and then was kind of involved in that again was just unbelievable to see. So it just shows the people that are involved in the teams now, the S&Cs that are there, and the development of the game in general. So yeah, it's been and it is hard going back and forth, I suppose, with just getting your foot right, actually your feet right in terms of getting back into.
Yeah.
I find that that was the big thing because obviously tackling here you need to have little small like movements and over there you can just kind of mill someone out of it. So it's
Yeah.
different things you don't have to have. But I suppose that for me was just kind of getting back into like getting my game like in GAA being like back to where it was and to push myself even further and to become a better player here. So I did find I'd say like although people do it and they do it well, I do think it's hard to balance both. Like
Hmm.
the extent that like if you're going to develop yourself as a player, it's very hard to develop both at the same time, if that makes sense, or to get better like that even like add even more to that game if you're doing both.
Yeah, it's difficult. And do you think it's something you'd ever want to go back to?
Like I I always did like think like I could have went to another club and just even trying out and seeing different kind of like how they did it or different things like that. And like it's another opportunity to obviously live away and to experience that lifestyle and the professional setup. And obviously Australia is an unbelievable place. But I suppose like my thing was is if I went back after for a third season, I would have missed club. Um, and that was last year. So that was like, sorry, that was the first year we won with County. So I was just like, you can't like all the stuff over there, like wouldn't like you wouldn't make me go if I knew that I was gonna be giving up like winning County with the club mates I've had for like since I was a kid. like for the first time. So there's that aspect as well. So like it's good opportunity. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I experienced it, but it wouldn't be something that would like pull me back tomorrow, do you know, that kind of way. Like it'd be a good thing to do if like say I was to take a year out here or something, that'd be different,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't try and balance the two again or anything like that.
Yeah. And obviously we heard the news of Mick Bowen stepping down as the Dublin manager. He's been incredible for the game, and I'm sure for yourself it was just tough news to hear.
Yeah, I think there was talks of him like last year going and then again this year, so it's kind of like, oh, will he go, will he won't? But no, like as in it's the right decision for him at this time. Like he's given so much to the game, not only to our team but to the game, and as you said, developing it in general and developing players and coaches and that aspect. And it was always about giving back to like Dublin as a whole and like putting platforms out there for the development. And I think that that's a big part in general of what ladies football need to strive for is that there should be like those stepping stones and the development of underage and like all the way up to minor need to be in place and the coaches need to have those skills. So I think he was doing that as well as like, do you know what I mean? He was trying to get that in as well.
Yeah.
So now he has done like so much for us and I've obviously we've been successful more than not under him and I've like became the player I am under him as well and I've so much admiration for him, a lot of respect for him and I'm very thankful for him. But it's the right time for him to go. Like he's done more than what we probably thought he would have. Like we didn't, I don't think the guy came in and properly in 2016 and he came in 2017. So he's basically there the whole time I've been there. So like it will be different and it's hard to imagine, especially the last like that many years, like that he won't be there. But at the same time, like it's nice. It'd be nice to see who gets in and different voices and different things and especially there's a lot of young girls coming through. So do you know what I mean? It's probably a good thing as well, just to give the baton on to someone else.
Yeah. And like this weekend then, All Ireland final. What can you expect from Kilkerrin-Clonberne? Like, you obviously met them last year in the semi-final stage, went to extra time, brilliant game that day. And obviously they've won three All Irelands in a row. So they're going to be tough opposition.
Yeah, yeah, extremely tough. Like definitely the toughest we would come across this year, obviously, and like for obvious reasons, it's the All Ireland final. But yeah, like they're a great team. Obviously, have great players all over the pitch. Very strong physical. So it's going to be a physical game. It's going to be probably a very fast game, and that's what we can expect. But I think like having played them last year, I think always going into a game where you haven't played a team, you always kind of have that doubt in your head and that type of situation. And I think we did very well last year, but we definitely came up short. And I think we knew there was aspects of that game that we could have got us over the line ourselves. Like so, I think having that experience, hopefully will stand to us and just kind of give us that a bit more of a drive going into this weekend.
Yeah, it should be a brilliant game. Well, Lauren, thanks so much for your time and the best of luck at the weekend.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
Well, I'm delighted to be joined now by Niamh Divvily from the Kilkerrin-Clonberne club ahead of the AIB All Ireland Ladies Senior Club Final, which is happening this Saturday, December 14th in Croke Park. Niamh, it's great to get a chance to sit down and chat ahead of the final. How has preparations been going over the last week or so?
Yeah, I suppose it's been tough with the weather. It's been hard to be getting out on the pitch when it's raining and storms and all that. So that's definitely been one drawback in the last week. But I think just trying to keep things just as relaxed as possible, like all the work is done at this stage, just trying to get mindset right and get going into the game on Saturday as prepared as possible.
Yeah, and I'd say down in Galway as well with the weather, it can always be that little bit worse as well. And that must be
Yeah.
difficult with getting pitches, as you said. Did you have to train inside or anything like that?
We trained inside one of the evenings because it was a red warning, so we couldn't go out. But no, we were out in the pitch again on Sunday morning. So yeah, it was
That's
grand.
brilliant. Good stuff. Well, obviously Kilkerrin-Clonberne, they're the reigning champions and chasing a fourth All Ireland title in a row, which is it's just unbelievable for any club to achieve. Why do you think that Kilkerrin-Clonberne have had this much success? What do you put it all down to?
I think just us as a group of players, like there's so much drive and so much hunger for just the next game and getting one more win under our belt. I think that's the main thing. We all drive each other on. Like, I'm obviously one of the youngest on the team, so coming into players that are just so much older and they've had so much hurt in the past, like you want to win for themselves, for them as well as yourself.
And the family involvement is obviously massive with yourself, with your sisters, Olivia and Siobhan playing, and obviously your dad being involved, but also other families across the club. Is that something as well that is extra special, that it's your club where I suppose there's these people who've been there, done it, and know what it takes to go on and win with your club?
Yeah, I think there's three sets of three sisters on the team and a few sets of like two sisters. So it's something that it binds us together like that bit better, and like we know each other so well. We know like how to play and what the other person's going to do, and we're not afraid to give out to each other either. So I think that definitely does help. And having that family connection, you want to win for them and for the whole family. It's a very like community, I think, community spirited team.
And out of the three is then three sisters, Olivia and Siobhan as well. What is the age difference between you and Olivia as the oldest?
So there's 9 years between me and Olivia and 7 between me and Siobhan. So yeah.
So were you growing up watching them playing, and I suppose hoping one day you'd be on the team with them?
Yeah, I think Dad was involved with them when they were like very young, underage. So I was always going to training and sitting in the dressing rooms. And when they were playing with county teams, I was dragged along in the car. So I had no option but to start playing and fall in love with games. So yeah, it definitely helps. I've obviously been watching the sport my whole life. So it definitely helps, yeah.
And tell me a little bit about the management team and what that has been like. As you said, about your dad there, he sort of managed a lot of the underage teams as well. Has there been managers that have stayed with you the whole way up?
Yeah, Dad and Willie Ward have been there the whole way up, and then I suppose a few more joining in, like Jerry Noon, who's the father of three Noons. He's there as well. And then you've like John Boyle, and there's a whole list. I don't want to start naming people or I'll forget someone,
Yeah.
but they all have their jobs to do and their roles, which when we show up to the game on match day, we don't have to think about anthem. We just hop on the bus and play the game. That's it. They've all the behind the scenes done, which is really important.
And playing in Croke Park with your club colours, that must be massive.
Yeah, especially we're such a small club in the middle of nowhere. It's brilliant. Everyone knows everyone, and it's such a huge occasion for the community. And so many people from home go up, and you feel like you're really representing something so special.
I think I remember last year, was that your first start
Yeah.
in the All Ireland final? And then you came off the bench the previous year. So what age were you when you first played in Croke Park?
Um, the first All Ireland we played wasn't in Croke Park. But then the second one I was 17, I think. Yeah.
Wow, that's unbelievable. And is there any girls on the team now that will be playing in Croke Park for the very first time?
Um, I suppose Avine Madden would be the main one. She came on the last day as well. She was on the panel last year, but she torn her ACL. So she's 17 as well. So she'll probably come on now the next day and get a run out in Croke Park.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's something that you have spoke about, maybe even yourself when you first went out. What was it like to go out and play for the very first time? Were you, I don't know, did you take it all in, or were you overawed at times with being out there on the big pitch, being at Croke Park?
Yeah, I think with the club finals it's that bit different that there's such a small crowd there, so it can feel quite empty. But it's what you dream of. You want to play in Croke Park and you want the big days, and we're so lucky that we've gotten so many of them recently. So yeah, I think we just take it all in, enjoy the occasion and whatever comes with that.
And over the last year or so, obviously making the jump up to the Galway senior panel as well. How are you finding all that?
Yeah, it's I really enjoyed this year with Galway. Like I think at the start of the year we never expected to get as far as we did, and then we got to the All Ireland and we were delighted with that, and it's just going to drive us forward for the years to come. But yeah, I think it's getting that experience and getting to play with like the best of the best, which you always want to be, is something that I can feel like I can bring back to club now, and they'll just drive me on to just improve more.
And getting to do it with your sisters as well is pretty unique on a county team.
Yeah, Siobhan took the year out with Galway this year because she's traveling up and down from Dublin so much, but I never thought I'd get to play with Olivia with Galway level. Like we photos at home of me at like 9 and 10, and she there in her Galway jersey. So you never expect that a few years later that I'd be there with her as well. But it's something so special.
Oh, brilliant. And obviously then this weekend, what can you expect from Kilmacud? Last year it was the All-Ireland semi-final after extra time. It was a brilliant game. And obviously you came out on top that day. What can you expect from Kilmacud?
Oh, we expect they're a phenomenal side. Like there's no doubt about that, with the best of the best players, but that they're going to push us right to the end. And I don't think there's anything between us, so it can go either way. But we're just trying to find the little things that'll just help us be that bit better than them and hopefully come out on top. But it's going to be a tough, tough game on Saturday.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. Well, thanks so much, Niamh. The very best of luck. Hope it goes well on Saturday.
Thank you very much.